All right, so today we're going to do a quick recap of lesson 3. I'm on page 314 in your math journal. It says use the spreadsheet below to answer the question. So if we have, for A, it says the title of the spreadsheet. I see right here the title of the spreadsheet is budget for book fair. So you can put that in for A, budget for book fair. And then we have B says which cell's formula is in the address box. We learned today in class that this up here is the address box. So D4 is the name of the cell in the address box. And then what formula is in cell D4? Well, since D4 is highlighted, it is selected. So that means that the formula is written up here. We have our equal sign. We always have to enter in an equal sign when we're doing formulas. And then we put in A4 times C4, and we talked about in class that this times symbol is the star symbol on a computer, so we always have to have the equal sign in that star symbol when we're putting in formulas today. So what does the formula in cell D4 calculate? So the formula in D4 calculates rental tables. So we can see right here that the item says rental tables, and we have how many we need in the first column, what the items are in the second column, the price of each item in the third column, and then the cost of all of those. So it's going to calculate rental tables. So what formula is in D5? We see the formula for D4 because it is selected, so that means that the formula is going to be up here in the display bar. So we're going to assume, since this is not selected, that if we clicked on D5, we could see the formula for D5 up in the display bar. So we're going to assume that they're multiplying the quantity by the unit price for this cost of posters as well as what they did for the rental tables. So we are going to have equal sign A5 because we are selecting what we're putting in for the formula the cell name. So if we were to change this quantity to 30 posters, then everything will update as necessary. So that's why we make sure we have the cell name in our formulas. So then we have multiply by C5 because we want to multiply 25 by how much they each cost to figure out how much the total cost is going to be. And then we have what is the formula in cell D10. So if I go to D10, here is the cell D10, and we notice that it is the 7% tax. So this number right here is how much tax we're paying for everything. So when I calculate tax, I have an equal sign, and then I'm going to put in 7/100 times our total cost, which is in D9 right here. We have our subtotal is in D9, and we're multiplying it by our sales tax of 7% to get the formula for this number right here. And remember, the result is the only thing that shows up in the cell. You have to select the cell in order to see the formula in the display bar at the top. So for G, it says, what does the formula in D10 calculate? So in D10, it calculates the tax, the amount of tax. And then if you change the number of rental tables to 8, so up here, if I want to get 8 rental tables instead of 5 rental tables for the book fair, and I change that number right here to 8, then that is going to affect cell A4. So I'm going to list all the cells that it's going to change. A4, it's also going to change D4, because now my cost is going to be higher because I'm getting more tables. Notice that it's not changing anything in the unit price, because however many rental tables I want to get is fine, but that unit price is going to stay the same. The total cost in D4 is going to increase because I am now getting more tables than I previously was. And then the only other changes would be cell D9 for the total cost. D10, obviously my tax is going to change as well since my total cost is changing. And then my total cost in D11 with everything taken into consideration with my subtotal and my tax and then my total after tax. So I listed out at this last question, it just has us list out all the cell names of the cells that would be affected by that change that we made.